Hi, I'm Cody Smith.
I'm Jeremy Smith. You'll have to forgive the noise. It's hard to get us out of our element. We're preparing for dinner service. Starts here shortly, so we're going to go ahead and do this right in the middle of all of it.
At City Butcher, we realized pretty quick that we had a lot of great people and we had nothing to do. So we were kind of bored.
We were kind of bored.
And we started thinking up different ideas. And we actually didn't have this concept in mind until we found this space. And we just looked at the space 3 or 4 times and was just trying to figure out what we could bring to this to really bring this building back to life. And came up with the concept of putting a butcher shop and market next door, and then just having a really cool place to come sit with friends, stay a while, have dinner, eat food, share food, and so we created CV Social House.
Which, you know, we wanted the tip of the hat for City Butcher, which is kind of what got us started in the restaurant side of things. I think maybe that kind of backfires a little bit sometimes. People think we're just another City Butcher. We don't have another City Butcher in Springfield. If you want barbecue, you got to go to South Campbell, just like everybody else. But here we have completely different menus, completely different offerings, completely different setting. We have full service with servers and bartenders and the whole range. So we just wanted to kind of spread our wings a little bit. You know, Cody and I are both chefs, so that was we kind of get accidentally pigeonholed into being just the barbecue guys, and you know, we kind of missed some of our chef roots on things and being able to be creative and bring some different trends to Springfield. And this was really this really kind of spoke to us once we like daydreamed, sat in this space for 2 or 3 hours one day and just daydreamed out the concept. It really spoke to us to be able to bring some trends that really have not happened here into a beautiful building that we think that we have spent a lot of time making even more beautiful and really accentuating what it already had to offer. So, I mean, here we are.
For me, there was 2 things right off the bat, and they were actually conflicting fears. There was a fear of, oh my gosh, what if we open up and we fall flat on our face? I mean, that's in the back of your mind all the time. It's like, we've got a lot more money in this than we did City Butcher. What if it doesn't make it? And then you have on the other end of the spectrum the fear of, holy crap, what if they all come knocking the door? If they're standing outside with torches when we open the restaurant? And so actually we've kind of been somewhere in between right now for the last week. We're kind of building steadily, so it's not been too bad.
Because this is a whole new thing to us. I mean, opening this kind of restaurant, we haven't done this before. So, you know, we rely on all the people that we've, you know, surround ourselves with to help us create the systems and help us to make this what it is. So, you know, after we get our feet under us a little bit here in the next couple weeks, it'll be a lot less scary. Totally agree with Cody. It was a big shocker on the money end of things. That was a pretty scary side of things, because City Butcher, it's a simple restaurant. It's easy to open that type of restaurant up, and it's fairly inexpensive. But for what we had to do here with the building and training of 3 times the amount of staff and whatnot, it was just a much more expensive.
Multifaceted. We have 2 bars, we've got a restaurant, we've got a butcher shop and market.
Yes.
So there's so many moving parts. So it's just like trying to get all of those parts to come together, which really required a lot of delegation. I think the lessons we learned from City Butcher was really to let people do what they do and trust people. When we opened City Butcher, it was him and I and one other guy, and him and I were so busy with all the things and talking to customers and actually physically cutting meat and doing things like that. We had a guy that we were like, hey man, we need you to figure out systems for doing barbecue sauces, for organizing the storage, for doing all this stuff, and just let those people do what they do and use their skills. I think that's the biggest lesson, and as we've gone into this, we absolutely couldn't have done this if we tried to do everything on our own, or if we tried to micromanage everyone.
The empowerment of people was really what, City Butcher taught us huge about empowering people, and we can accomplish so much more if we do that. So I think that was probably the biggest lesson that we've learned, and it's probably what will carry us on into future ventures that we open. Is, you know, we got to empower, we got to find the right people, we got to empower them to do things, and that's how this all happens.
As far as mistakes, buy new equipment. We bought all used equipment.
When we first opened City Butcher, we opened on a shoestring budget. I mean, barely opened up with any money in our pockets, just hoping that everything was going to hit just right. And luckily it did, or fortunately it did. But we bought all used equipment, with the exception of our smokers. Everything was used, and within that first year, we replaced every single one of those pieces of equipment with brand new pieces.
So it's cheaper to buy new.
So it is actually cheaper to buy new. So when we opened up the new restaurant, we bought new equipment across the board. And you know, although it seems like a higher ticket price, everything has warranties, and you know, everything's protected, and it comes out so much better for us in the end. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Keep it simple. Focus on what you do well, and focus on doing that really well every single day, day in and day out. And don't try to do too much. We started City Butcher with like 5 meats and 3 sides, and we put it on butcher paper. We just execute it really well. So I would say keep it simple.
Absolutely. I would say if I was giving advice, man, I think I'm right on board with you, man.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple, and don't take yourself into, well, I don't know, keep it simple, but if you want to bring something new to this town, make sure that it's a trend that's actually happening, like in the world. We probably aren't going to be huge trendsetters here in Springfield, but we can definitely bring some different cultures and trends to Springfield. So getting real experimental on things, I think, could be a little dangerous.